Hello everyone, this is ACHAIA Kaya, and we are in game number 2 of the matchup between DoggPound and gearv0sh. This is the last matchup for round number 1, and as of right now, SC2 Armory is up 3-1 in the matchups, and of course there is only this game left to be played, which if gearv0sh can actually pull out one more win here, then we will see SC2 Armory sweep the first round 4-1, which basically puts everything on the shoulders of Killer Plague, as he is the only Vile Gaming Network gamer that has won so far. He was able to defeat the SC2 Armory opponent that he faced off against, but gearv0sh right now up 1-0, and this is a best of 3 series, so we'll see if he's able to pull out another win here. He is spawning as the purple Terran in the lower left here, and in the upper right we do see DoggPound as the green Protoss once again, and they are playing on Kulos Ravine, which is another 4-player map, and despite the last map that they played on being Lost Temple, that was a 4-player map as well, but the game actually went very quickly. gearv0sh was able to get a decent amount of Marines and Marauders into the base of DoggPound, which basically forced him to rage quit out of the game. But it looks like gearv0sh is going to be putting down his first barracks out at the entrance to his base, and once again he has not created a full wall off here. I'm not 100% sure why he's doing this, rather than last game what he ended up doing was lifting off his barracks and building a 3rd supply depot to finish walling off his entrance, whereas I've seen most players basically what they do is they will create the barracks as part of the wall off. Now, one advantage that you do have to using the barracks or moving the barracks later rather than using it as part of the wall off is that you can still get an add-on in there relatively easily without having to worry about losing any units. Oh, and one SCV almost going down. It's only got 5 HP left. He needs to hightail it out of there as this probe is trying to chase him down. Oh, he gets the SCV, but the scouting probe for DoggPound goes down at the same time. But anyways, gearv0sh does have a scouting SCV in the base of DoggPound. DoggPound getting out his first zealot right now and actually getting ready to put down a cybernetics core. So we'll see if he's able to get some pressure on gearv0sh in the early game. It looks like he's got his rally point set to send that zealot right out to the entrance to his base, so I don't think he's going to be putting on any pressure, at least initially. We'll see if he tries to mass up a few zealots early on, although I doubt it since he does have a cybernetics core going down pretty early, so I would expect him at the very least to wait until he has the second gateway up and running after the cybernetics core has come in, but we'll check out what timing he decides to go with a little bit further down the road here. gearv0sh does have the control of the Xel'Naga watchtower right outside the entrance to DoggPound's base, so he is going to be aware if DoggPound tries to move any zealots out and make a move on his base. But anyways, back at the base of gearv0sh, it looks like he does have a decent amount of SCVs building up on his mineral line, and he is getting a tech lab at the entrance, and this is actually a somewhat interesting wall off pattern that we're seeing here. gearv0sh definitely showing some creativity with the way he creates wall offs at the front of his base. I have never seen anybody use the wall off SimCities that he does, but as we saw in the last game, it worked for him, so hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess, right? But there is one Marauder coming out for him right now, so we're already seeing a slight deviation from the build that he did last game, as he is only getting 1 barracks with the tech lab initially, and then it looks like he is actually going for a somewhat early factory here, and then once that factory, no, actually he is going for a Ghost Academy as well. So I'm not sure if he's going to try to get some early Thors possibly, or if he's just trying to get fast medevacs to go along with his infantry army. We'll have to see exactly what he does here, but at this point it looks like he is just going to stick with the factory and putting a tech lab add-on onto it. Actually, he has another refinery coming in, and if he gets an armory up here shortly, he may be trying to go for fast Thors, which fast Thors can actually be very effective if you have a decent amount of SCVs along with your army to repair that Thor. And it looks like there is another supply depot going down on the base. I'm sorry, I thought that was initially going to be an armory, but apparently I was mistaken. But anyways, going back to the base of DoggPound, he does have his second gateway finishing up right now, warping in 1 robotics facility, and we may actually see him put down a second robotics facility here very shortly. That is actually the exact same build that he went with last game, which unfortunately it did not work out for him, but gearv0sh is playing much differently from what he did last game, so we'll see if this strategy works better against the build that gearv0sh is working with now. But going back to his base, it looks like the tech lab add-on is finished, although he is not currently producing any units. He is researching the siege tank tech, so it looks like he is going to stick with a slight infantry tank tech right now, although there is a starport coming out, so if he gets some medevacs, perhaps he's planning on trying to drop on the high ground or something from right above this base here, he would be able to take out this pylon and robotics facility. I'm not sure if I don't think he'd be able to reach any of the pylons or buildings over here. There is a third gateway coming out right now, and looks like a robotics bay going down. So DoggPound switching it up just a little bit. Rather than going for 2 robotics facilities, he went 1 robotics facility into Robo Bay and got a third gateway, which this is a little bit more standard for what I've seen from Protosses recently. It seems like the 2 big popular builds for Protosses are 3-gate Robo Bay or 4-gate pushes, which those are the 2 predominant strategies that I've seen from a lot of Protoss players right now. I'm sure there's many more strategies out there that I am unaware of, but unfortunately, because of how much I have to work these days, it seems like I don't get to keep up with StarCraft 2 as much as I would like to. Anyways, going back to this game, we do see 1 tank coming out, and it looks like gearv0sh is fending off 1 lone zealot, which is trying to scout him right now. Of course, he decides that is a bad idea and backs off because there are a lot of marauders along with Marines at the entrance to this base, so that zealot is getting nowhere fast. But with the 1 medevac out, he is actually getting a couple of tanks right now, so we'll see if he tries to go for some kind of a drop strategy. It looks like he does have this 1 tank loaded up into the supply depot, so, or I'm sorry, into the medevac rather. Yeah, that is not a